Hey guys, it's Ben over here at Team Home Hero, and I wanted to just kind of show you our back end systems. I know a lot of people have been asking about that, or maybe you're a new agent or just any agent in general, wanting to figure out how to make real estate work for them, and maybe Team Home Hero is an option for you. But I want to just kind of show you what I show any agent, a new agent, and kind of give you more back end insights to our system and what exactly we're doing to make things work over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start sharing my screen and just show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to give this a second to load, make sure it populates all appropriately. And the first thing that I usually talk to any agent, whether they're a new agent or existing agent, is what you're doing with your time is the most important thing. And this infographic really helps any agent, whether you're new or in the business, to really get an idea of what you need to be doing on a regular basis and what you're doing with your time. Because what most people are messing around with is email and leads, CRM maintenance, trying to figure out this marketing stuff, and it's honestly $25 to $50 an hour work. We got in this business to be agents, and if you look at where the dollar per hour tasks are, your highest value activity is listing appointments, buyer appointments, negotiating contracts, and phone calls with prospects. It's literally a $200 to $500 an hour task to do. And so if you need to do one of two things, typically is what I see. You need more appointments, and usually you got to have leads, you have to know enough people, you have to be in the business long enough. If you're new or you don't have a lot of deals going on, you don't have as many appointments to go on, which I'll show you how many appointments we go on a regular basis on this month, because that's the best use for our time, is going on listing appointments, buyer appointments, negotiating contracts, and then phone calls. Phone calls, I know there's a lot of people who like to avoid these, like to get away from them, but at the end of the day, like, all paths lead to the phone, and it's literally a $200 to $500 an hour task. And it's these people want you to call them. I can't tell you how many times we've had situations where people are like, oh, I'm so glad you called. Up to this point, we haven't had anybody reach out, haven't had anybody ask to help us. We really need the help, and we just haven't been able to get it, which is what we've been finding. But if you look at this dollar per hour task for an agent, you really see where your value's at, where you need to be spending your time, and not spinning your wheels. And we have a predictable system and structure for these things that take place, for the phone calls, negotiating contracts, buyer appointments, and listing appointments. But that way, being on a team here at Team Home Hero, you're doing more of the highest dollar producing activities, which is $200 to $500 an hour. And that's literally our market. That's not, California or Denver, anywhere else. That's here. And I could break that down, like, to give you case study examples of how that's possible here in our market. It's just, you got to have the right marketing system to even tee up the leads, to get the phone calls, to get the appointments, which is what I'll just jump right into right now. Because what I've seen a lot of people do is that a lot of the agents are doing the heavy lifting. They're playing the sales hustle game, and they're not playing a true marketing game, which is what we're running. So if you look at, like, our website analytics here, you can see, like, in the last 28 days, we've had 4,000 users on our website, 6,000 sessions, and they've been on the website about 3 minutes. So as these people are coming online, looking at houses, visiting our website, consuming our content, you can tell they're obviously engaged people that want to buy and sell houses and that want to talk to people. And maybe it's just not the right time right now to talk to you. It might be in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, but we just don't know until we reach out and discuss and have a real estate conversation with them. So that's part of it. As you can see, our back end analytics, like, we actually have a website that is rolling and functioning well and only getting better. The other piece of that I can show you for our website back end, these are just some screenshots that I took to show you guys. So, like, this is another one from our Chime CRM back end. So far this month, we've had 293 leads, and I think it's, the 24th. I think by the end of the month, we should be at about 400 leads a month. And that gives you an idea of how much new lead volume we have coming in. And then from there, it's a very predictable business based on how many calls have you made, how many emails have you sent, how many texts have you sent. You can look at how many leads have been called, and then also how many calls have been made. So like you can see here, we've called 1,000 leads, but we've made 2,500 calls. That means each lead's only received about 2.5 phone calls. It's honestly not even that much. Like when you think about it, these people have only been called 2.5 times. We don't hound and pound them. Like you don't need to. It's not necessary, because you do a lot of the emails and you do a lot of the texts that help warm these people up. So when they do answer the phone, you do get them on the phone. It's a lot more of a warm conversation. It's a warm call. It's not necessarily, a complete cold call on everything. Obviously, it is a little bit awkward because they don't know you, you don't know them. But that's the point of these calls, is to get to know each other. And a lot of it has to do with the approach we take, which I'll get into here a little bit after this, of how these calls are received well and people have good conversations on those. But this gives you an idea of the back end of the amount of leads we're getting, and also the activity we're taking. Because you could literally go buy 1,000 leads a month if you wanted to. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a back end system with emails, with texts, with phone calls, backing it up, none of it will convert. None of it matters. I'm sure there's plenty of you who have tried that or have experience with this, but aren't getting anywhere. And that's where I've seen a CRM is a little bit a dime a dozen. And just because you have a CRM, they're only as good as the users. And so a lot of what it comes down to is training the agent, training the user of how to use a CRM well to actually get results out of it. So that's our website back end. The other thing I wanted to kind of show you is just some of the leads to give you an idea. Like this is what our back end looks like. We have 7,700 total leads in there. No new leads because we process them very quickly, work very efficiently. But we have about 238 that are in our outreach pile, meaning we need to reach out to them to get a response. Once they've responded, whether through an email, through text with our AI bot that texts, or through phone call, they go into the response category because they responded, they said something, but we may or may not know what their timeline is for their pipeline of like HOTS, where they're now to 2 months, where we have like 91 of those in our system. Warm, we have 2 months to 6 months, 552. Nurturing 6 months plus, we have about 4,000 in there. Because there's a lot of people who sign up on websites, just want to look at houses, aren't that serious for whatever reason. Like they're not really the type of people that need a high level of service, that need to be reached out to, need to be followed up with. And that's all we're really trying to identify here, as you can see with our lead system, is who really needs help and who doesn't. And that way you're only really talking to the people that want to talk to you, and vice versa. So that way, that gives you an idea of our website, our activity. And now I want to show you some of the proof of, like this is a screenshot from our CT dashboard. We don't carry a lot of active listings because we launched them like an auction style listing. And so I have probably about 8 listings in the works that aren't active, but as soon as they go active, we put them on the market Wednesday, do a marketing delay, showings Friday, Saturday, Sunday, have them sold by Sunday night, and then we review all offers with the seller Monday morning. And we have an auction style listing, so we don't carry a lot of active listings. We launch listings to sell them. Currently, we have 14 active buyers. That's between me and basically 2 brand new agents. A lot of that is me. This is where I need a large amount of help. Not only do I have current buyers, but I also have a lot more leads that can be buyers that I know the system works. I just need more people helping. Right now, I got 2 agents on the team. I'm looking to bring on 3 more for another agent training class here shortly. But you can see where the proof is in the pudding. Like here's the results of, when you do these things, you put in the work and you follow the system like it works. It produces these results. My biggest thing, honestly, right now is I'm stretched thin. I need some help, because I just don't have the amount of time in the day to complete these actions. I got to do it through other people, and that's just where I'm at right now at this point. Being fully transparent, fully honest where I'm at on everything. And sorry, computer just clicked off. I want to keep it on. Here's also another proof of like our CTE backend that we use to manage our goals. This is what I mean when I say like I'm actually kind of behind. As good as these numbers look and sound, I'm actually behind on my goals, and that's where I know I need more help. More of the right agents driving this thing forward. I'm not just going to take on anybody to take on anybody, because honestly that can hold us back more than it can help us. But at the same time, I do recognize the fact that I need some agents to come work within my system. That I know the system's working. I just need to find agents that will work in the system. So hopefully that's you. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I think it at least would garner a conversation. But I was going to show you my website. So a lot of our website does a lot of the heavy lifting for us. I'd encourage you to go check this out, wichitahomehero.com. Actually, I'm going to refresh it, give you an idea. Got a little video on this that pops up first thing. And there's a couple key important pieces about this. A lot of website activity is first-time home buyers and relocation people. And what we're doing here is we're setting ourselves apart from Zillow with the local landscape, local picture, painting the picture. We're local Wichita experts, can get right into picking what type of home they're looking for, or they can search for a home. Little blurb about us, although that's not that important. Featured homes for sale. How much can I get from a house? Yada, yada. But what we found from studying our website activity is people come in to see a certain listing, and then they start looking at this home page. They start looking at the buy page, where they get an idea for the professional process of how to buy a house. And a lot of this website does the heavy lifting for you of explaining, educating people from the start. So when they come to you, they're more familiar with how the process works, and they're more educated, they're more involved, and they're ready to move forward more. So same with selling, and all this is a little bit of work in progress. Again, I'd encourage you to go check this out and really see like what sets us apart, makes us different, show that you get to also leverage and use these same marketing materials and say, my team does this, and you have proof of it because people believe what they see, not just what they hear. And so that's why I just want to show you these things. Same with building a house, how's it work? And you can use a lot of these tools when you're on Team Home Hero to help to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So anyway, still building out the new build section, so that one's not completely done. But then there's also, we have a lot of educational videos that people tie into, you know, how it works, meet the team, that kind of thing. This is also good as an agent to come get an idea of what we're like here, what the culture's like, day in the life, that kind of situation. And then also a lot of cool Wichita local things. So a lot of people want to know Wichita, Kansas, be on Google Maps. Again, still building this out, still a work in progress. A lot of relocation people look at this stuff. Even people who live in Wichita look at this stuff. And this is where the website does a lot of the heavy lifting for us. Obviously, you guys are probably pretty familiar with the Wichita Food and Booze Facebook group we do. We just need to upload some more of our spotlight videos. But anyway, so that gives you an idea of like our front end website from the consumer side of things that helps do a lot of the heavy lifting for us, takes a lot of the burden off your plate, our plate, and it all, like every lead becomes an online lead. Even your friends, your family, your SOI, all the people you know in person are coming online, and a lot of them are on this website. They're on a lot of other people's websites, like they're online anymore. And so it's not enough to just have a social media presence and have a Facebook profile to be like, I'm a realtor. And because honestly, they'll just be like, so what? You and 2,000 other people are realtors too. The other side of this that we don't show to the general public or give other agents access to is our training section. Because honestly, what I've seen is one of the biggest things that I've seen any new agent, whether you're brand new to the business or been in for a year or year and a half, is they find that they're not getting the training that they need. They're not getting the coaching they need. And most importantly, they realize they need structure. They've had past success. They've had past jobs that they've done well in. And what they realized after getting freedom in real estate is that you need some type of a structure that produces results, produces what you're after, so that you only have to work 35 to 40 hours a week instead of getting trapped in this entrepreneur wormhole where it's like you work 60 to 80 hours a week and you're miserable. You can't keep that up for the rest of your life. It's not possible to have like a good lifestyle when you're constantly working 60 to 80 hours a week. And it's that sales and hustle grind mode that very few realtors make it in, that I'm seeing is being perpetuated, that, you know, there's a better way to do this. And a large part of it is training videos, so that you can watch these videos, understand, you know, how to work the leads, how to look at MLS, Paragon, comps, how to price a property, how to submit and negotiate an offer, part 1 and 2, open house marketing checklist, contract to close, part 1 and 2, what are the steps I need to do within a workflow system like we have. We also have an admin that assists with that, and a transaction coordinator. Also have admin training videos for everything. There's also these agent documents and tools that we have on here, like a new agent training list. There's a defined like step-by-step system. Here's everything you need to know from chime leads marketing to social media marketing to open house marketing, text marketing, phone calls, buyer consults, showing homes, submitting and negotiating offers. And then sold. Once you've sold one, then what? So then you go from contract to close, earnest money deposit, inspection, appraisal, underwriting, final walkthrough, closing. You can see how much training a new agent, any agent, needs and continues to work on to optimize themselves to be a good professional for the skills that they need. And this is what I've found across the board, is that a lot of agents are not getting the training, not getting the help that they don't realize is not here in the real estate industry. Every other job, every other situation they've been in, they've been trained well, and there's been an onboarding process. I think that's the number one thing that's lacking in the realtor industry, is an onboarding process and a training process, which we have in place that you can see here. And that's where we're seeing agents be successful with us. You know, I follow all this too as the team lead and head agent still. And so I'm working directly with you on delivering these things. And then we also have, you know, how to even have a real estate conversation, cadence and accountability. This is kind of our structure that we use, and our business plan and game plan we use that holds us accountable to, like, what's the amount of money I want to make? How many agencies do I need to take? How many appointments do I need to go on? How many conversations do I need to have? How many phone calls do I need to make? What's my personal plan to keep myself in shape, you know, mentally, emotionally, physically? And then my business time, what am I dedicating my business to make sure that this works as a priority level? It's really not a guessing game when you start following the business and studying the business at this level. The really only unpredictable variable is the people involved and whether or not they can follow these systems and they can perform within the system. So really it's kind of a no-brainer when it comes to real estate, like how it works. And once you start studying these different dynamics between marketing to activity to having a game plan set in place, this is what I found, is that a lot of people come to real estate because they want all this, you know, freedom and all these illusions that we think that we don't have to put in work, or we don't have to work, we don't have to answer to anybody. Because the truth is, we traded in one boss for 100 bosses, and they're called clients, and they're way more demanding, and they're way harder to work for than just a typical job situation. But it is a very rewarding career. It is a very fulfilling career when you're sitting at the closing table and you realize you've made one of the biggest impact on people's lives in one of the most difficult times in their lives. It makes it all worthwhile when you realize, like, the work that you do is very beneficial and it means a lot to people, and the way you're doing it means a lot, and it's beneficial. So it is a very good industry. It's a very tough industry, but I've definitely seen where there's an opportunity for the service to be improved, both as agents and for the agents. And I believe that the team model, for those that are running it well, like what I was just showing you, is really fixing what's broken about the brokerage model. So anyway, that's it. Before I get into ranting on everything, I want to just kind of show you our back-end systems, show you how we're doing things better over here at Team Home Hero. Maybe that's a fit for you. Maybe it's not. If it is, go ahead and reply back to this email. We can kind of have a confidential conversation from there, and hopefully talk to you soon. See you later.